Good morning everybody, it's Lisa here from Rocco Baby Crochet, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I make these lovely little headbands. I sell them on my Etsy shop for babies and toddlers. The flowers are attached to a nylon headband and they are very stretchy, but they're lovely and soft, so against a baby's or a toddler's skin, and they're not going to snag on the hair or anything like that. They will actually stretch and fit an adult head as well. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description box to this tutorial for where I buy mine from. They're just from Amazon. So I've made one in purple white. I need a pink one now, so I'll show you what we need for this to make the next one. So you need the yarn of your choice. Now I've chosen this Woolcraft Baby Lux double knit. I've only just found this yarn and it's a bamboo mixed with acrylic. It's 60% bamboo and 40% acrylic, and it's absolutely beautiful to work with, and it's lovely and soft. It's becoming my favourite yarn to use for baby projects very quickly. So I'm going to make one out of pink just to finish off my set here. So you're going to need one of your headbands, you're going to need a pair of scissors, you're going to need a darning needle, and you're also going to need a 3mm crochet hook. And that is everything that you're going to need for this tutorial. They're really simple and quick and fun to make. So let me show you how we make them. Don't forget, if you've not subscribed, there's weekly videos being posted, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And I'll just move these out of the way so I can show you what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm just going to take my hook and my yarn and I'm going to make myself a slip knot. Just wrap it over and pull the loop through. Pop your hook in there and pull on your working yarn just to tighten it up around the hook. So what we want to do is we need to make a foundation chain of 66. So you're just going to yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, and you're going to do that until you've got 66 chains to work with. So if you want to hit pause and come back to me when you've got your 66 chains, and I'll show you what we need to do for row 1. Okay, so I've got my chain of 66. So what you want to do for row 1 is we're going to be making a row of V stitches. So in the 5th chain from the hook, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, we're going to be placing a double crochet. Now it's fine if you want to go into the chain like this and make your double crochet. I always use the back bumps. It's not really so as important in this as it would be in a blanket or something like that. But in the 5th chain from the hook, you want to make a treble crochet, which is in American terminology a double crochet. Okie doke, and then you want to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the 3rd chain you're going to place another treble crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through your last 2. Then you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place another treble crochet into the same place that you've just placed that treble crochet. So you're going back into the same chain, and that's what makes the V stitch. So then you want to skip 2 more chains, and into the 3rd chain along you're going to place a treble crochet, chain 3, and then back into that same stitch another treble crochet. Don't forget, in the US these are double crochets. So you're going to skip 2 again, and into the 3rd one we're going to do a treble, chain 3 and then another treble. And that is the row repeat all the way down this row. So you're going to place in the third chain from here, so you're skipping 2 and into this third one you're going to place a treble crochet, chain 3 and then place another treble, and you're going to do that all the way along. And when you come to the end of it, this last stitch here, you should be placing your last V-stitch in there. So if you've got your row count correct, in this very last stitch here you'll be placing a treble, chaining 3 and then going back into here and placing your last treble. But I'll meet you when I get down to here, okie dokie. So if you want to hit pause and make your way around doing that repeat pattern, and I'll see you when you are finishing up on row 1. Okay, so I've just got 3 stitches left here, so I'm just going to work my last V-stitch into this last little loop. Be a little bit tricky getting under the back bump of that first stitch. Now you should notice that your work is sort of starting to have a twirl in it. That's exactly what you want, so don't panic. So for row 2, what you want to do is you want to chain 3 and turn your work. And what we're going to be working into next is this V-stitch here. So our first 2 V-stitches should both have 6 treble crochets in it. Now for this first one, this chain 3 is going to count as our first treble. So you're just going to yarn over, go in, insert your hook into the gap that the V-stitch has formed, pull up a loop and place a treble crochet there. And for this first one you're going to do that in total 5 times. 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then what you want to do is in between each of these clusters, this gap here, you're going to place a single crochet in that gap. So just insert your hook into the gap, you're not going into any stitches or anything like that, and place, well, it's double crochet in UK, single in American terminology. And then into the gap of your second V-stitch you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, and you're going to place 6 UK trebles, US doubles into there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Oh goodness. And there's our 6. So into this gap here in between your 2 V-stitches, you're going to place your double crochet or US single crochet. Now into your third V-stitch, and every V-stitch along until you get to your very last 2 V-stitches, we're going to be doing clusters of 8 into these. So you just do them exactly the same way, but you're putting 8 in here instead of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And you're still going to place your double crochet into the space between the two V stitches, so US single, and then you're just going to do exactly the same, placing 8 trebles into every V stitch along, and your single or double crochets into the spaces underneath your V stitches, the space in between, until you get to these last 2. So leave these free, work your way along your chain and come back to me when you've got your last 2 to go, and I'll show you what we do there. So if you hit pause and come back to me once you've completed your clusters. So I'm at my last 2 V stitches, so that's my V there, and that's the one we created by skipping the first 5 chains at the very beginning. And into these 2 we are going to be placing 10 UK trebles, US doubles into here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And then just make sure they're not sitting over where you want to put your double crochet US single. And then into this last space here, you're just going to place another 10 UK trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So then to finish off this row, you just want to chain 1, leave yourself quite a long end of yarn because you're going to use this to attach it to the headband. Take your scissors and snip that off. Pull on your hook, pulling through that yarn, and then pull firmly on that just to tighten up that knot. So what you'll notice is it's all turning up on itself, and that's exactly what you want. So where we did the smaller clusters here of the 2 6 UK trebles, that's going to be the middle of our flower. Now what I find it easier to do is I attach a darning needle to the end, my loose end of yarn here at this end, which was where we started with the slip knot, so you'll have a little bit of yarn there from making your slip knot, and you want to do it quite tightly at the beginning. You just want to roll it around itself just to form that petal. So what I like to do is right here in the beginning, just make sure I pop this loose end, I weave it through all those ends that's forming the middle of that flower. Because if you leave it till the end and you're trying to sew it all together, it's harder to make sure you get your needle through all rows of the petal. So I'll just turn it another couple of times on itself, and it'll naturally want to do this, so that makes it nice and easy for you. And then I'll take my darning needle and go through them stitches. Just with a whip stitch. And then I'll do another couple. of rounds around, and then I'll whip stitch through them again. And at this point I'll finish off this shorter tail, which is, oops, it slipped off the needle. At this point, once I've just attached these petals together, I'll secure this loose end because it's getting quite short now. So I just literally go under there with it and make a little knot. And what I usually do is just run it through, and then I just go through the middle of the flower with it, so the loose end will then not work its way out. And I'll just trim that off so you can't see it, so pull it quite tightly and then trim it close to the flower petals, and then you can't see that at all. So then I'll attach my darning needle to the longer end of yarn, which we cut off when we finished our second row, and I'll just carry on turning these last few petals. And I just want to double check when I turn it over that I like how the flower looks, and I do. I think that looks really pretty. So I'm just going to make sure that these outer rings that I've just turned around go through the middle as well and back out through that outer end. So this is why I like doing the beginning bit separately, because otherwise you're trying to hold everything together and it can just get a little bit hard work to do. So I started doing it like this just because it's a lot easier. So I just work my way around the flower. So I know that it's nice and secure and it's not going to unravel. And then once I'm happy with how secure it is, I just pop my needle so it's into the middle of the flower, pull that yarn through, grab my headband. Now I like to do it so that this edge is what is seen and these bits that curl over under are what goes flat against the skin. So I just open that up, pop my needle roughly in the middle of it and pop it through and pull through on that. And lay it down on the flower, and then I literally just attach it by doing a couple of whip stitches around it. So I try to move them along the headband a little bit, so it's gone out of focus a little bit, that just so that you're not going to have anything hard sitting on the skin. I'm quite happy with that. So what I will do now is I'll just away from the headband so there's no knots here and it's still nice and soft. I'll just do a little knot here to secure it and pull it tight so you lose the knot into the yarn. So again, you can't feel, it still feels lovely and soft. And then I'll just weave this loose end a couple of times backwards and forwards, and then I work it back through the centre of the flower at the front. Pull that out, take off my darning needle, grab my scissors, pull it quite tightly so when you let go the loose end will lose its way back into the work, but it won't undo or unravel. Make sure you're not cutting the petal. And there you have it. I think that they're super cute, really easy to make, and they don't take long at all. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Check in the description for the links for what you need to make them. Hit like, hit subscribe, and also join us over on Facebook as well. So that's the quickest way to get in touch with me if you want to over there. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next week. Okay, bye bye.